on the instrument to test the power on and power off. Test case 1. The Optosky logo is running. That means the system is powering on. And now we press the power off button to power off the instrument. Complete the power on power off test. Now need to power on the instrument again to perform the test case 2, log in and log out test. Firstly, we need to log in with the support admin. And use the password you have just resetting the IQ and the login successfully, and you log out. Then log in with the support admin and a wrong password. You input the wrong password 3 times. After 3 times wrong password, the system will be locked. You can see the system has been locked for 2 minutes and login with the after 2 minutes, login with username and the correct password. This time, login can be successfully. We have completed the test case 2. Let's move to the test case 3. Here we will test the role and user account test. Here we need to create a new role of administrator and assign administrator corresponding role. You can select the role by click it. Actually, we almost click all permission for administrator and save it, but you can change it. After the administrator's created, you can create a user account of administrator under the role of administrator. Sure, here we use administrator just for better remembering, but you can assign Michael as the new user account, and you give the password and assign his role as administrator and save it. Successfully created user. And then we create a role of supervisor. We press add and input the supervisor. And click and assign roles to the supervisor. Now supervisor role is created, and now you can add a user. Also, you can add a user's name such as supervisor. In his role is a supervisor, and give the supervisor a password. And now the new user account supervisor has been successfully created. We can now move to the a new role of the operator and assign operators permissions. And now the role of operator has successfully created, and you can add the operator user account of operator and given his role is the operator, here give his a password. And select his role as the operator. Now we successfully created a user account of operator. Then we log out and log in with the administrator, created the password we have just given. Yeah, for a first-time login administrator, you are being asked to reset the password. Here, you need to reset the password, and administrators is successfully created. Secondary, we have the we will secondary perform the test case 4 to change account password. We need to log in the administrator to reset the operator's password. And here you are resetting the operator's password. And you try to log out to log in as the operator. And after successfully reset the password and the operator's login can be successfully. And after successfully logging the operator, you can reset the password. Here we have some input the wrong password, but try to reset it. Then you use the operator's new password to log in, and login is successfully. And we log out. And we use the administrator's account. To log in, and we can change the operators and block this operator and change his password. Okay, we finished the test case 4. We use the operator's account and password. It failed to log in. That means the operator is blocked. So you can use the administrator's role to unblock the operator You just unclick the block and give it a new password. Okay, now complete the test case 4, and we move to the test. So let's move to the test file. We perform the laser power test. First of all, log in the supervisor and create a scan measure named laser power test. You can put 100 power test 100 measure, and remember to set up a longer integration time, such as 15,000, and laser power is 100, and then you return to the main menu to detect the scan and power on the laser power meter, and you just can select the laser power and click dictate, and you can read out the power laser is 74.5, and you can, because our power meter is not accurate, you need to multiply 1.4, and we tested about 100, and you record this. Because laser power should be shooting on a long time to keep the stable, so it's needed to. And then we create the second laser power test, 200 microwatt. And set up the manually integration time 15,000, and you can have a laser output 200 microwatt and save this method. Then return to the scan, dictate scan, and select the laser power, and you can just click dictate to test the laser power. And because we use this efficient to calculate it. And lastly, we create a method of the laser test power of 300 microwatt in the scan measure, and we can add a laser power 300 test 300 microwatt, and you can have a manual setup integration time 15,000, and you have the laser power of 300 microwatt, and you save it. And then we can use access scan to select 300. We can click dictate to test the laser power. And the laser power is accurate. Now, we can complete the test file laser power test. If your power meters is accurate enough, you don't need to transfer with the 1.4%. We are going to perform the test 6 validation test. First of all, we need to log in the instruments, perform validation test. Make sure the validation where the power star link up and press it to the button. And here you can see dictate. You can perform the self-validation test, and the test can pass it. Then complete. You need to execute e-signatures to complete test case 6. And then we move to the test 7 setup method and identification and electronic signature test. First of all, we log in the supervisor and create in the supervisor account, create a new method name, paracetamol test, followed by scanning the barcode supervisor with the account. But now, you need to, first of all, create a new method. This is the paracetamol. This is the paracetamol, and create a method. Add the method name paracetamol. Then, and you have a sample method name can be the same as the sample name. And then you can scan the barcode or input the barcode number. You scan the barcode here, like his barcode. Just make a scan. Now the barcode scan is identified, and after that you can press next. The new method paracetamol has successfully set up, and then we need to use the paracetamol to generate a new method. You can use the liquid sample cell. Press to the button and dictate. You need to perform the 20 scans to create a method. Every time HQI should over a value 85%, it can successfully save this method. It needed is perform the HQI. After we perform this, so that paracetamol usually we use it with different batches of raw materials. Such as if you have purchased many batches of the paracetamol, and you need to scan these all batches to save a method. So that it can improve the similarity of the raw material to be compared, to be matched. After successfully perform the 20, you can press next and input. This CAS number is you can input any numbers, just cannot be the same. And for a test, you can complete. And then we can log out and log in operator. Select method. You use the operator to log in. And input a password. We execute ID such as needed to use the paracetamol, and such as we perform 2 samples. Batch numbers is you can just scan the barcode. And then you can scan, you can perform the identification. ID means identification, such as we use the sample paracetamol and you start it. And it passed, and you record HQI and p-value in your protocols. And you can take a picture of the sample you have detected, and you can just export a report with the photos. And also you can confirm this test. And after that, suppose you use the wrong. If you use the amoxicillin to detect, but test result failed, and it shows you can complete it to make a record of why the amoxicillin is failed. After you have successfully recorded, and you need to execute the e-signature to input the operator's account and his password. So that you return to the main screen, you can find history record that it had the unknown spectrum. It had a unknown spectrum records here. And we log out to logging the supervisor. And the password. And the login. We try to find the dictate historical record to check it. You can check it. This is operator's fair signature, and you can perform the electronic signature. You check it, click check it. Okay, you confirm it. So your supervisor can check and confirm the operator's record. And further, let's move to the test A. Test A is create a new library, scan historical test. First of all, is needed to log in as a supervisor, and in the role of a supervisor, you can create. First of all, let's log in the spectrum. It has a new spectral library of paracetamol. And you add a library name, a new library name that's of our test lab. And then we can confirm it. Paracetamol is created under the new library name of test lab, and you create the scan method, and you add a method name. Scan a method name scan, and put his laser power. Maybe you can set 200, and you can save it, make it integration time as such as 2000 milliseconds, and save it, this figure configuration. You save it, and then you need to generate a new spectrum. In the spectrum library, use the scan test. Use the method node. And you save the method node library under the test lab library name. CS number is just for our references, so the user just need to input any CS number, but it cannot repeat it, and save to the test lab library name. Library has different folders. You can save your own library. Spectrum arsenal. You have created the arsenal and run the scan test. Use the arsenal in the file. We use the scan test. Here our engineer didn't use the liquid sample cell. It's better to use the liquid sample cell. And now arsenal has created, and next you input the arsenal. Methanol. Also, save it in the file of test lib and confirm it. Lastly, we use the scan. Select scan test to scan the arsenal, methanol, it's 99% match, and input a batch. You execute the e-signature. And then we run scan test using the methanol. Also putting the liquid sample cell, and it passed. You can input the batch number. And you assign the e-signature. And we can check the history record of the methanol and the ethanol. Check the historical record. And then we need to move to the next, let's perform the test case 9. Find ID data export test. First of all, we can connect to the pharmacy management server. Open the software on the desk to run the pharmacy server and the pharmacy management client. And use the admin to log in the and now we need to connect the USB to the computer so that we can use the user account support mean instrument user account to the connect state is true. That means we can click synchronize to synchronize the database to the computer. After we have synchronized our database to the computer, now it's waiting. You can see on the computer screen, you can see synchronized processes. Usually, the synchronized libraries will take a longer time if your library is many, and when synchronized complete, you can see synchronized complete, and now you can close it. So that means the synchronized database has complete. And here you can click the records. You can see that double click this record, you can see the spectrum here, and also you can double click it. You can save this scan test method to the folder path, and you can successfully save it on the computer desktop or the folder path. And you can open the Excel and to draft a graph. First of all, you need to select the material and wave numbers, and use the raw data and wave number. Select data. You need to select x-axis and y-axis. And then you can click OK to save it. This is the scan test graph database in Excel. And then you can open the paracetamol, and you can export the paracetamol TXT file. TXT file. You can download it to the computer, and also you can open it in the Excel and draft the database. Can copy it in the Excel, and then you can also graph them in Excel. Now you have the paracetamol graph in Excel, and then you need to export the spectrum library database of method, and save it in a computer and draft it in Excel. You can select the scatter and draft it. You see, the draft database with the Excel has complete. We have complete the test 9 farmer ID data export test. Next, let's move to the test 10 farmer ID reporting test. And in this reporting test, first of all, you need to click Audit Trail, and you can export, report export, and you need to click it. Now, you can also detect records export report, and you can save the report, and you can record the report name, scan, test, and also you can, after you have export reports from the audit trail and detect records, you connect USB to the computer, and now we can log in the management client, and to open the management client to synchronize the database to the PC. And you can open the server and the client. Now, we also use the logging the user account and password to synchronize the database. And now, synchronized database is running. Till synchronize complete shows on the computer, you can complete it. Synchronized. Just wait a while. Now it's synchronized library. Now synchronize complete, and we can close the synchronized windows and select the PDF report. you can just see the scan test 1 and the records we have just generated, and you can open it here. You can download it on the computer, and you can also print it to the printer. And this is the audit trail X report. You can also download it in the computer and print it to your printer. Now we complete the test 10. Let's move to the test case 11. Is needed to open it. Yeah, this is the scan test 1 PDF report. And also you can open it. This is the audit trail report. It takes a record of all the activities we have performed. Then let's move to the test case 11. First of all, login management server, login IT admin, and password to login, then login admin to management. Login admin and password. Login. And here you can click data management archive to you can archive field the serious number from the date from the day you want to archive till the end day, and click archive. You can archive all the database. And also, after you have archived the database, process complete. So you can see here is the archived records. And also, you have the data management archive. Data can be retrieved, the data. Yes, the selected data can be retrieved. Okay, after retrieve is complete. Yeah, retrieve is complete. So we complete the test 11. Let's move to the test 12, audit trail test. We log in the admin to management client, and you can use the admin to log in. Now logging is successful. Here you can see the audit trail. Yeah, all this is audit trail. You can see the instrument audit trail and management audit trail systems display separately. After review the audit trail, You can select all events for report. That's the end of the list.